Well, welcome back to Building Bucklers Hard, a series where I'm creating my own version of a real-life town based on those of the sort of Georgian period of English history. So in this episode, I'll be showing you guys some work I've done building a couple of farmhouses and the farmyards around them, as well as the progress in the town. Now, disclaimer, there was replay footage for this, but I never managed to save it from my old PC. So this was kind of the crossover between where I got a new PC and got an old PC. I forgot to move across a lot of my replay files that hadn't been turned into videos. Unfortunately, that means there is no building in this episode, but it's a great video just to sit back and relax and watch as I talk through my planning again and show you guys what has been done with the town. Well, we've got most of the road network now laid out around Bucklers Hard, leading off into Wolverhampton and beyond. I've kind of left that road there just because it's going to connect into Cowshot Castle once we end up building that. Very, very long way away from doing any of that, I think. But I've actually gone through and painted all of the areas that I want to have dense woodlands, woods that have been planted to make sure we had enough trees to build the ships over there in Bucklers Hard. So while I've been doing that, Pav has been on and he has constructed the first little area of the town. This is one of the graveyards here. It sits behind, I think, the smaller sort of church out of the two, which I've put Akira up to the task of building. That's just a little layout there that we've got just to make sure it fits in. But this is a lovely little graveyard. Perfect little area, got a weeping willow tree there, graves lining the place around here, and it's already bringing in, a sense of just what this place is going to look like. Quite dense, quite compact, but there's going to be a lot of style and beauty around it. You may have noticed as well, I have got a couple of buildings around the outside. Now, these are two farms that I built, not for this, but a little while ago. Oh, it was a nice little view. A little while ago for a tutorial video that I never made. Yeah, you've nearly got a tutorial video, but that was never meant to be. So these farms are now going to be lying around here, one here and one over there. And these are just going to be sort of sitting here, controlling a large bit of land. And I'm just going to go around and sort out a few of the bushes around the paths here. So I've given a few of these areas, a bigger sort of section of a couple of fields, that's the word, a couple of fields around here. And then we've got this farm house, this farmstead over here, which I'm going to do the same thing to as well. So I'm going to separate this area out into a few fields, which will be controlled by that farm. And I think that's just a nice little way of not hounding in, but cornering in the town such that we've got the farms around it, we've got the roads around it, we've got the forest around it. The landscaping is what it is around here, actually. I mean, it's okay, but I've kind of just gone ahead and thrown this together over a sort of an hour or so. I think it works. Don't get me wrong, it's not my best bit of work. Don't look over there. But at least it's turned what was a weird spit with another weird spit next to it into quite a large beach with some interesting views of the church. We've got the lightship out there. But what's going to be cool is, once we get some buildings up and about, you can start to see them over there on the hill. Already, I'm getting very good feelings about this place. Just having these roads in here. And this is going to be that long drag through the enclosure of trees that's going to have, trees up either side. And you're going to have logs parked down the middle. We can even see some of these farms, as you go around these little paths here, come out onto Castle Street and you've got this farm here. So what I'm going to do now is just carry on integrating these farms into the landscape, that one and that one, finish up those roads over there, and then we'll have a look, see how all that is going. Well then, that's one farm in and done. And already this whole area is being transformed. Don't look over there just yet, with just how it looks now. So I haven't gone through and put any of the other bits on just yet. We've still got trees missing and all sorts. But we now have a little farmstead here. This is Castle Lane Farm. Because this road going off there towards Wolverhampton and through here will eventually terminate down here at Cowshot Castle. So I thought it was quite apt just to call it Castle Farm or Castle Lane Farm. And it's a small little abode, quite a large farmhouse, but as I showed you over there, we've got a larger one in the wings. The yard behind it is quite big. Actually, should we have a look at this and some shaders? There we go. So we've got this lovely farmyard around the back here, and already I'm getting sort of the feels of just being around a farm. And yeah, there's a church in town now, and it's capturing my views quite a bit. What we'll do is we'll just have a little wander around here first, and then I'll allude back to that. I'm very excited about what's going on over there. So as this episode's already been said, it is about building a few houses and farm bits around the town itself before we get into the town, its main town. Oh, you can see one of the forts out there. So the little farm place itself, I think, turned out really nicely. So it's not really like a crop farm, it's more animal farm. I'm probably going to need to build a few more buildings for it, or we might just leave it as it is. But around the edges, I've gone for like a dry stone wall effect. So to make that, I just kind of threw a lot of blocks into my bar here on World Edit and just went, that'll do. Let's try and make ourselves a nice wall. And it's like stone bricks and putting in a few slabs and stuff and stairs on the bottom bit makes it look like there's some bits missing. I mean, you can probably do a better job. I try to variate the sort of directions and stuff with it up there. Oh, that needs to be finished. But these trees, I think the trees really add so much texture to the place. So these are built by Akira, I believe. I took them from our workshop recently. And they just add so much, I don't know, just depth. I wanted some oak trees. And I believe this is a lovely big oak. And you can just come here and just take a little seat underneath it after a day of herding some cows, and you can sit here, and behind you you can look at the spire of St Bernard's Church there with the beautiful Whiteburgian flag on top. But wandering around, there's also a hedgerow across the back which leads on to more farms. I've done little fence gates like this so you can I've got to jump over them. And then these little hedgerows carry on across the back here, and the same over this side as well. But yeah, this farm's quite big. It extends from the farmhouse itself all the way out down here towards the main road into town there. So I've got this other farm out here to have a go at some point. I'm going to think about probably doubling up this stable block, making it a bit bigger over here just to differentiate it a little bit. But look at that looks so good, and these shaders just really add already to the area. Just having that, well, the reason it's green is because I said before that's where the trees are going to go, so it's kind of like it needs to be there just as a way of showing people what we need to do. But the fact you can see a fort from there, like you stand at the end of this road and just go, wow, there's one of the sea forts. So what is going to happen is here is going to be a big house, like a big sort of townhousey type thing, and I've done a little drawing. Let me show you the little drawing. So just saying, I want a big townhouse type structure here, maybe a standalone house, and then as the road comes round, it goes in past a larger sort of villa, which is going to be overlooking the sea. Then the road comes down and we have this other building here. Now this is going to be a beachside hotel built in a nice Edwardian style. Carrying on again, we've got another big house here as the road loops back round. And I thought it was quite a nice way of using the beachfront there, the seafront, and you can look out towards the fort. So maybe we have a think of some names for this place. I'm thinking just the beach house, or it could be called like, Fort Watch or something. But you can see the farm there on screen as well, and also buildings out this way. Let's go have a look at those now. Well, yes, of course, I've alluded to it quite a bit now, but in town we already have two buildings. On my right here we have a lovely pub built by Goblin. Let me just check the name of that. This is the Hannibal Arms. Now I set about a task of saying every hotel and pub that gets built in the town needs to be named after one of the ships that was built here at Buckler's Hard. So in real life, Buckler's Hard was, I think we explained in the first video, a major shipbuilding hub for the sort of mid to late 1700s, early 1800s, when they were still building ships of the line. And some of those ships built there were the Agamemnon and the HMS Hannibal. So this is the Hannibal. This is sitting here on the main square. It's just lovely, isn't it? This has set the vibe for the entire project now, Goblin. You know that, don't you? Absolutely insane stuff. I can't wait to see more of this stuff. So you can see kind of how compact the town is going to be. It's not going to be like, a big sprawling enterprise. The reason I've done the farms around the sides already is to hone in the fact that this place is just this area, this layout. Now, I have already been in discussions with having a pub that kind of extends out here a little bit, being a bit more of an inn with a yard that kind of comes down to the back of the farm there, and that's fine. But the rest of this is going to be plantation woodland, lots of big dense wooded sections just to make all that wood to build the ships with. The quayside is something I need to probably expand out. We'll have a look at this next time, but already there's that nice slope going up, and you can see that there, you can see that there, and of course you can see this here. Now, as I alluded to before, this is St Bernard's Church, based on a sketch I think done by Sir Christopher Wren, or it may have been Nicholas Hawksmoor, and Akira built this only yesterday. Actually, Goblin only built that yesterday. What a sight, what a beauty just to have sitting here on the quayside already. Wolverhampton is just over there, and you can see this church from there already, and it's just a piece of the skyline is already in. Look, you just look across and you can see the pub, and you can see the church, but the church just, it really works very well already, even though it's just like the only building here. So the rest of this video is going to be me fixing this little farm over here, and then putting some trees in, and then I think we'll be done with this episode. But the next episode is going to feature maybe me building some buildings in there. I think the main sort of town hall. If not the town hall, then we may even have tackling a bit of the beachfront properties, because who wouldn't want to be sitting on this lovely beach here, looking out across the defence of the realm? I mean, I'm alluding to this. Maybe you guys haven't seen this yet. This is a fort, a sea fort, that I based on those around the Solent in the waters just off Hampshire. What a view! And there can be a castle there. There's actually Whiteburg's just over there, but there's 3 of these located here. So if we fly in this direction a little bit, there's the second one. Right, it was in an unloaded chunk. So we got one here, we got one there, and there's actually one more just in that direction there. So this is Fort Neptune. And then Defiance is the one next to it, and Victory is the one just out there in yonder. So that's Fort Defiance over here, which is the one closest to the land. Now we can pop inside quickly, because I did build this many years ago, probably 2 years ago, as a little feature piece for a war that never happened. I think I made a whole video on building it. It was a bit weird. But inside I've tried to do the whole like magazine section. So you can come down here and you've got the gun platforms. And I kind of built some guns. Like these are in here. These are the cannons lying around. Well, not even cannons, it's actual shells. And I've done some angled guns, and this was all like anti-flash. It was just, I kind of like military history, and I kind of like building old Victorian military installations. And where the two meet are definitely at the sea fort sort of level. Like there's another layer down here for more guns, and then below this, if we go through this door back into the stairwell, we get down to the magazine, which is just like an oh no, is this the magazine? Hello? Oh, this is like a little crouch area to keep the powder in. I'm going to build more forts, guys. I mean, we've become heavily sidetracked. Let me take us back outside. Oh no, wait! I want to show you the magazines. One more level down. Here we go. So this is like an endless maze of just rooms. All would have had all of the ammunition down here, the powder. Rooms for people to sleep in. This opens up into the side. I don't even know what to do with this bit. It was all just a bit weird. But anyway, enough of the sea fort stuff. Let's go back out and see the rest of this farm being built. Alas, as I said at the start of the video, the footage for the rest of the farm being built no longer exists. Unfortunately, that is the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed sort of looking around the town and seeing the progress as it's unfolding in front of you. Lots of work had gone into this place by other builders, as I mentioned in the showcase area, and I can't wait to show you what I actually have already built since this video was filmed back in early November. So guys, remember, get inspired, get building, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.